Sarah makes her own peanut butter. She crunches the peanuts with her feet.
It's a new dance move that I've been working on.
What's it called?
The peanut crusher.
Ooh. My girlfriend performed the peanut crusher on me many times.
It's actually called the peanut on my feet.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Jeremy.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Rick, and I hate this intro.
Sarah, you're back.
I'm back. I'm not dead.
Tristan foiled again.
Ugh.
Shout out Tristan for being on the podcast last week, or last couple of weeks. We appreciate you coming out, but we replaced you with a...
Much prettier version.
I didn't want to say that, but yeah.
You've never even met Tristan. So.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to Alyssa at Brian X Creative. She made our logo for RickJerandSar.
Yeah, hell yeah. Shout out. Yeah, it's been a couple of good weeks since Sarah was gone. Sarah was gone on a work retreat. Kind of sounds
I wouldn't really call it a
culty.
retreat.
Culty?
I went away to work. It was my first time working out of town for my company.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was busy. It was good.
I like that. Since then, Rick had to single-handedly fight off a meth head.
Mm-hmm. I'm not even going to get in the story. We're just going to leave it at that.
We're going to leave it at that?
I just fought off a meth head. It's just a regular week for me at work.
Yeah. Rick obviously works at the zoo.
At the meth zoo?
The meth zoo, where they make the meth zoo. If you could destigmatize one drug, what would it be?
Mushrooms.
What would yours be?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think
drugs.
of a good one.
I love mushrooms.
What's something... Insulin. No, I'm just kidding.
Did you say insulin?
Do you know how expensive it is?
Yeah, it just kind of...
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really have stigma, but
yeah,
but you get stigma with a needle.
You need to stig up a bank in order to get money to get it.
I don't like how many jokes you made.
Shout out Sky, who has diabetes. Shout out Skybetes on Instagram. Follow at Skybetes.
This guy's gonna love this.
Yeah.
Did
you hear she got mad at me? No, she didn't get mad at me. She didn't get mad at me. It was the first episode I used John's name.
Yeah,
and she was like, you should make sure that he's okay with you saying his full name. And I was like, yeah. He said it was okay to use his social insurance number and everything too, so we're good.
Yeah.
We're coming at you live today from Sarah's Breakfast Nook. This is a live reaction of Sarah eating food.
Yeah, this is her just eating toast, and we're just watching.
With peanut butter.
Yeah, that she crushed freshly with her feet.
When did you guys get introduced to crunchy peanut butter? Because we've all been around peanut butter since birth. Okay, maybe not Rick. He was poor.
What?
I hate crunchy peanut butter.
Not crunchy?
No, I literally have crunchy peanut butter and smooth peanut butter in my closet.
Yeah.
Pantry?
What?
Closet.
The food closet.
In
the
linen
food closet.
That's where we put the gay food until it's ready to
I hate crunchy peanut butter.
I just go and hide it in the closet so that Colin doesn't find it.
Mm-hmm. Why'd you whisper his name? The peanut butter so that Colin doesn't mind.
Just because he may be here.
He's not. Colin,
honey,
Dad,
Mom.
So this is RickJerandSar. RickJerandSar, episode 3. How's everyone's day going? We're doing this a little bit later than we usually do. It's about 7:53 in Fort Sask.
What's the weather like?
Weather is fair. I could be a weatherman. Okay, if you were on a new show, what role would you fill?
The ditzy blonde.
The awkward.
Does anyone?
Friend. We've already talked about.
Does anyone want to tell Sarah she's not blonde?
You already are the awkward friend.
I know.
So there's that anime filter going around. Oh, yeah. The one that Rick just showed. It's a Snapchat filter, makes you like an anime character, and we were all together doing the different taking pictures and seeing what we look like, and we realized that Rick is the awkward friend in the anime. It's literally the friend that no one else likes. Me. I don't have the picture. I don't just have pictures of Rick on my phone.
Absolutely, you do.
Why you
I have pictures of Rick on my phone.
Ew.
When he's sleeping.
Why? Oh.
Okay, is it? All right, I'm going to talk about something weird.
Oh my God, you're so cute.
He is cute. I think about it all the time. If we make it, if people actually if this becomes something, we get a decent audience. I think about it all the time. What are the shippings gonna be?
What do you mean by shipping?
Do you ever seen
a
fall? Yeah. Because most fall, I follow Smosh and Rooster Teeth and stuff like that, and people are in their fandoms. They're always I heart Shortney. That's one of the ones from Smosh. It's Shane Topp and Courtney Miller. People want them to date really bad, and they've gone on record saying like, we're just friends and we'll never be more. But people are always like making videos of like, look at how they look at each other, like they must be dating without telling us, blah blah blah.
It'll be me and Jeremy.
Yeah,
for sure.
Raremy?
That was my thought too.
Drick?
Drick.
I like Drick.
Like a
Drick.
Drick and Josh.
Big Drick energy.
Oh,
Like a deer Rick hybrid. That's all I'm thinking of.
A deer Rick hybrid?
Dear Rick hybrid. I believe you're thinking Druid.
Probably.
Man, I love D&D.
I've never played it.
Bro,
Oh, it's good.
I'll play it.
so fun. Would you play it?
Yeah, I just don't have time.
That's fair.
Yeah,
It's time consuming. It takes a lot, but honestly, if you can, if you commit to it, the more you put into it, the more you get out.
It's like a choose your own adventure, but you kind of like have dice to decide the odds of like what actually happens,
Yeah.
like if your choices actually work out or not.
No, I totally would. I just like,
Don't have the time.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm.
Same with Catan. That one too, you don't have time. Like that one's like you gotta sit down and like commit to that one.
Yeah. My girlfriend doesn't. She's never played it either. She tried once with us and didn't quite work out. But now her and her friends, they want to try it too. So I'm gonna DM for them. So I'm gonna write them this campaign, and they're all gonna try it, and I'm gonna ruin their days. Like I'm gonna do horrible things.
Sounds like something you would do.
I'm so excited.
Okay, so
My cord's tangled.
I'm gonna get into the story about the meth head.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Well, Jeremy tried to bring it up at the start, and I wasn't ready. I was having none of it. Anyways, Sarah's not heard the story, but literally everyone else I know has. So
Everyone else he knows.
everyone else in the world knows. I've talked about
Father
it.
Jim, the pastor from Portland, Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Shout out Father Jim.
So everyone in this room but me knows.
Yeah, everyone but you knows. So this is literally 2 nights ago. I was working. I literally did nothing for 5 hours of work.
Did you tweet about it?
I tweeted, "What the fuck is my job right now?"
I did see that one.
That was all I tweeted about. I didn't give any context or anything because I knew I was going to talk about it here. Didn't. But so this lady came in with her dog and she wanted a room. I was like, "Sorry, we don't accept pets." And she was like, "What the fuck? I'm not even from around here. All this shit." And she was just getting really mad. And I was like, "You got to go." Like I looked up a different hotel she could stay at that allows pets. And I told her she could go there, and she's like, "Okay, well, I'm not gonna walk there." It was like a block away.
You didn't want to keep the chonky boy?
She didn't want to walk, so I called a cab for her to drive her a block. And while I was calling the cab, she just wandered off. She wandered to the other building, and she tied her dog up outside and went in just by herself saying, "Oh, I don't have a dog." I had texted my coworker working at the other building saying, "Hey, this lady has a dog. She can't stay here." So she knew already that she had a dog, and she didn't let her stay there either. And then so what she did after, like instead of going to a different hotel or whatever, she took her dog, went across the street, and tried to abandon her. The dog. Abandoned the dog on the street.
No!
And I saw it all on the cameras. And as she was walking back, I went and locked our door and called 911. I was like, this drunk lady is just trying to abandon her dog. So
I bet she
could get
wasn't
a
even
hotel
going to, like,
room.
abandon the dog. But that makes me
No,
sad.
straight up was abandoning the dog. Straight up. She had it off the leash. She walked back to the building, was banging on the window while I was on 911, waiting for the police to get there. And then she ended up going and falling asleep in our laundromat area on a couch. And then the police came and they were like flashing the flashlight on her face and woke her up and just arrested her because she was
Did they
obviously
find the
drunk.
dog?
And okay, that's the bit. She got put in the cop car, and as that was happening, like out of a movie, I was looking on the cameras, and out of a movie, there was a dog running across the parking lot. And it was the dog running back to her.
Did he go in the cop car?
Yeah, in a different cop car.
Oh, okay.
So like she
I don't even care about the crazy meth
me
lady.
neither.
I just want to make sure that the dog is okay.
like things could have been perfectly fine, but she tried to abandon her dog on the street.
You always see
That's
the weirdest
so
shit at work.
What an incredible story for Rick to say that he has a new dog.
Yeah. So anyways, this is Jasmine.
Why didn't you bring your friend?
I would have absolutely, and like I know you're not in a position to get a dog, but
want a dog.
fuck me, it's at the universe just telling you to get a dog.
The dog's name was Jasmine too, and
Telling
I
you
got
to keep
pet
the dog.
her so much.
How big was she? Like Roddy?
Rottweiler. So
like
like
full
it was
size?
like yeah, and she had
girl.
her on a leash. Yeah.
Had her
wonder
own
if it's
leash.
the
What a
same-
flex.
I wonder if it's the same looking crack lady from Abbotsford, because there was a lady
It's the same
and she
one.
was yelling. No, legit. We were walking into her hotel room and she was yelling, like stumbling drunk and holding like 8 pizza boxes, 8 large pizza boxes, and a leash to a dog, which was a real chunky Rottweiler. And it was a girl. She had pink collar on. So maybe it was. Anyway, she was like yelling at a guy sitting in a car and told him to wake up and turn the lights off. And he was like passed out in the front seat, just like looked super fucked up. And I was like, man, I hope he doesn't drive away. Like something bad would happen. And then, yeah, she went into the hotel. Obviously, they allowed dogs. And I was coming down through the elevator. And then the elevator door opened. And the chonky girl was standing right there. And I got really excited. But honestly, it probably could have been the same lady.
Sorry, I want the sound clip of the chonky girl came out and I got really excited. That's what I want. Someone who's listening to this, get that audio file and send it to me.
You have.
Yeah, you don't like how that turned around.
So who had Vin Diesel releasing a pop song in 2020 on their bingo card? Yes, I'm changing the subject because I don't want to talk about this anymore. Vin Diesel released a goddamn pop hit, and it kind of goes.
It does not kind of go.
It kind of goes.
You got to push it to go.
I don't know if it goes.
Did you hear it yet?
No.
Oh, it actually...
I live under a rock.
Kind of fucks.
Called Abbotsford.
You live there.
Oh, you were in Abbotsford? That's where you were?
Yeah.
I was born in Abbotsford.
She literally said about 6 times that she was...
Dude, I don't listen to her. I just tune her out sometimes.
Okay, you're done talking. We'll talk about me now.
No. I just thought, what an interesting thing.
Yeah.
And
He just talks and doesn't listen.
There are crackheads there.
100% there are. It's BC.
Yeah.
It's a fucking opioid crisis.
Yeah, you're right.
Also, all I can think about now is when we were coming home from Nordegg and I was so fucking tired and I was driving home and it was dark outside and I didn't have the energy to both drive, concentrate on the road, and make conversation with you. So you talked for 3 hours straight without me saying a single reply.
I do that.
It do be like that.
Yeah, I just kind of let it go and just I like to fill the air with my thoughts sometimes and just like air it out.
So
And like I'm doing right now
for a bit.
I had a full insider view to Rick's thoughts for like 6 hours.
And you made it out?
Yeah. And you were
Did
like
I, though?
at the end she was like, this could be a podcast. And here we are now.
A year and a bit later. I think it was like a full 3 months before I hung out with you again after that.
Yeah, you needed a break.
That was January. We went to Revelstoke in March.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw you with
Yeah. No, and
had
that's
your fill.
fine.
That's how I deal with
I was
Fine by
over
me.
it too. I was like, she just didn't talk the whole time. I don't think I'm gonna hang out with her
weird
for a
last
while.
time.
What if I had the opposite experience of you and just like she just didn't talk?
I'm kind of worried about Sarah. She didn't talk at all.
It's great because then you and Colin filled the silence on the way to and from Revelstoke.
Yeah. Well, I napped.
Yeah, you guys both napped and I drove by myself in silence.
So if Rick talks too much, she's mad. If Rick doesn't talk and sleeps, she's mad.
I'm never happy with Rick.
That's fair.
Me neither.
Sad day.
My favorite thing ever is
Saturday.
when someone says like, "Oh, I hate you," and then I go, "Oh, that makes 2 of us," and they look at me like kind of concerned.
Like, okay, I wasn't expecting that.
I do
So
like
rude.
that. It do be like that.
So, to change the subject to something completely random and has no bearing on anything ever. When you were a kid, did you ever have the weird experience of when you'd go to Subway and you'd only get pizza subs for no reason? That was me. Maybe it was because they were cheaper and I was poor.
I did, but I never got mine with pizza sauce.
Why?
Just
I don't know. I always go with like
pepperoni?
sub sauce.
Okay.
Interesting. What's your go-to Subway order? We're gonna just talk about this
I
now.
think chicken.
Chicken?
I like shredded chicken from Subway.
Like now it's that rotisserie chicken, isn't it still? Or did they change it back?
They had like the chopped chicken for a while, and then they had like the actual shredded like rotisserie stuff,
Yeah.
and then they've always had like the whole breasts.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I always either did like the strips or like the shredded. So whatever's there.
Yeah.
That's like my shit. I had never had a pizza sub. I didn't know what pizza subs existed until I was probably like 18, and I'm not exaggerating. That's a lie. Actually, no. Probably 17, because my best friend from my hometown, Nathan, shout out Nathan Teskey, he always got pizza subs.
Excuse me, did you ask if you could use his last name in this podcast?
Oh, he's talked about it before. He's like, you can.
Search him up too. He loves adding new friends on
Yeah.
Facebook.
His nickname is Big Dick Teskey.
Do you know why?
No.
Because he's built a deck.
With my boyfriend?
You're dating Nathan Teskey? Surprise.
Plot twist.
I miss Nathan. Shout out Nathan. I get to see him next month. I'm so excited.
Why?
I'm going home for
You
Thanksgiving.
know why are you excited? No, I'm just kidding.
Because he's a better friend than you've ever been.
Make you question friendships.
Rick has this bit going right now because, like, he does this every time I get, like, I shouldn't say every time. Every time that I'm putting my attention somewhere else, he gets kind of mad.
He's a little insecure.
He's a little insecure. So now that, like,
I don't like this joke is aimed at me.
oh, it's
anymore.
so funny.
He's your one and only.
He thinks he's one of my one.
I just get very passive aggressive when
You do? Oh my god, you
when
do
threatened.
that?
when.
Rick's pretty passive aggressive.
All right, the podcast is over. Wait, what?
We're giving Rick 2 mics. He's too powerful.
To my. Does this?
Don't do that.
Hey, Kayla, do you want a mic?
Fucking Christ.
I'm about to make this podcast crash.
Pod crash.
Kayla, not Kayla.
Did you have anything with that Subway bit?
No, I just wanted to know
Yeah.
if everyone had the same childhood as me.
Did you ever embarrass your grandma in a restaurant?
in a Subway?
In like in a fast food chain?
No.
No.
By what? What did? What
My
did you?
grandma's an angel.
What was the order?
Oh, my grandma is too.
Not
I
literally,
just,
but she is an angel.
I just like threw her under the bus in McDonald's once.
Wait.
I was staying at my grandma's place when I was like probably like 4 or 5. And we're like headed back to her place. And she's like, do you want to grab supper? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, what do you want? I was like, nuggies from McDonald's. And she was like, hell yeah. Because my grandma, like, she's amazing. My grandma's like the best person.
Can I make a note?
Sure.
I didn't have chicken McNuggets until my 20s. That is my only note.
We already know you're fucked up, okay?
You're poor. I was because you're poor, Jebediah. Anyways, he just wanted to know that. All right, okay, no, I'm just gonna go this way and tell Sarah the story because I'm mad at Rick.
I'm always listening.
But yeah, so like we go to McDonald's and my grandma goes up to the till and she was like, "Hi, like 1 kids meal chicken nuggets," and then obviously that was for me, the small child, and they look at my grandma and they go, "Okay, anything else for you?" And I was like, "Nothing for her. She doesn't like McDonald's. We're going to KFC after this." And my grandma, I guess, was wiped with shame.
Okay. This is it's McDonald's.
Okay.
What the fuck happened to the toys and Happy Meals? They used to be so good. Or maybe I was just a kid and liked the toys that they had there.
I definitely think
but
they
they used to be better. They used to put money into them, I feel like.
You guys know you don't have to order Happy Meals anymore, right?
What?
Just think about it. I go in there and now I look at the little display case and it's got a book in there. Or a puzzle.
Fucking nerd.
Well,
Which those aren't cool fucking things that come out from movies, you know what I mean? The little play toy things.
I'll give it to you. Yeah. No, you're right. I'm guessing it has to do something with like corporate greed.
Capitalism.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm
Making
guessing
my
it's that.
toys
No, you're
shitty.
100% right. Like that's kind of the fucked up.
Because I remember as a kid, like getting these toys and me and my cousins just playing with them for years, and like they'd be fine. Now they're just like cheap, not even like dollar store. They're just like they don't even do anything. There used to be video games and stuff that came in it.
But like
Yeah.
Tamagotchis and shit they used to have.
Yeah.
Oh, they used to have like the
Forgot about
Digivices, and I loved that shit. Were you a Digimon or a Pokemon kid?
Digimon.
Really?
Yeah. No, I don't even know what either of those are.
That makes sense.
I
Okay,
tried.
that's fair.
This podcast is literally just nostalgia. We're just gonna keep going through it. Like
Take us back to the 90s.
y'all remember when computer?
YTV.
Yeah.
The Zone.
Yes!
Oh.
What was that one? Ghost Hunters or something like that?
I think, yeah, Ghost Hunters.
I wasn't allowed to watch it.
It wasn't Ghost Hunters.
Hold on, I'll go on the
Yes, wait, that's
riff
my
for
job.
a bit. No, I got it.
See who gets there faster.
Anyone else not allowed to watch like weird things, like weird shows?
There were a lot of people I know who weren't allowed to watch SpongeBob.
Oh, that's fair though. SpongeBob's just so dumb.
Well, there's a theory that SpongeBob represents the 7 deadly sins.
Oh, it was Ghost Trackers. Is that what I'm thinking?
You're thinking Ghost Trackers? I found Ghost Hunters. I don't know if it was on YTV though. I clicked on the first one and that could be it. No, there was like this theory that like SpongeBob and his friends are all different entities of the 7 deadly sins. So I'm saying you're right. People shouldn't be watching SpongeBob.
Yeah, SpongeBob is a sin.
Who is what?
Oh god, I don't remember if I remember this. Plankton is greed. Or sorry, not greed. Envy. Mr. Krabs is greed. Patrick is sloth.
Is what?
Sloth. The sin of sloth is like being lazy, not doing anything.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. God, I don't even remember. was just fast on the computer. I could find this out.
Who's Envy?
Plankton. I just said that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Remember that thing about Rick not fucking listening?
Who's Sandy?
Let's find out. I'm sure if I do this.
Can we talk about how Mermaid Man and
What?
Barnacle Boy are humans that are the size of a squirrel? And a sea sponge?
Say that again?
Damn, you right?
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy are humans the size of a sea sponge and a squirrel.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so this one here says Squidward is wrath, Patrick is sloth, Sandy is pride, Gary is gluttony, Plankton is envy, Mr. Krabs is greed, and the thing I don't like is that SpongeBob is lust. What is he hiding in those square pants?
I'm ready.
Mr. Krabs, I'll do anything for a promotion. Employee of the month.
This is Harvey Weinstein bit. This is a Me Too SpongeBob edition. Okay, no, but back to what I was saying. So, like, as a kid, I wasn't allowed to watch certain shows. One of them being Care Bears. Growing up in a very conservative Christian kind of upbringing, they didn't like witchcraft. And for some reason, animated witchcraft still counts. I hadn't watched Harry Potter, any of them, until my 20s.
Actually, no judgment on that. Colin didn't watch them until he was 27, so.
I went to school at a super conservative college in Iowa. Same idea. Like 3/4 of the population had never seen Harry Potter.
What the fuck?
Christians are weird. They die on like really weird hills.
Yeah.
Like Jesus did.
Which is insane. Wait, no. Gonna completely gloss over what you just said.
Rick doesn't like this bit because he wants to do the next thing.
No, because I'm super Christian.
Oh, that was the one line from the last podcast that you missed. Tristan was like, "Did your guys' parents like ever tell you like really weird lies?" And I was like, "Are you counting Christianity?"
My parents, me growing up.
Is your mom still Christian?
My mom, I wouldn't even really describe her as Christian. My dad is like, he was the one who was like really hardcore Christian.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that he's like gone away from it now, but I think like since we're not in it as much, like he's not like all about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my mom's like, she's a big believer in like energies and
Right, we've talked about that before, yeah.
This kind of stemming off this, something that my dad told me that kind of like shook me in a sense was that he told me that before my grandpa passed away, one of the last things that he said to him was that he kind of regretted how much effort and like push he put into like religion when he could have just spending so much more time like with his family and like doing other stuff that
which is such a can I say one thing about that and then you go off yours?
Yeah.
That's such a baller move to me because like you've told me that story before and like he was like near the end of his life,
Yeah.
right? The idea of just being like at the end of your life and just being like, I'm probably about to meet God. You know what? I wish I hadn't done anything with God my whole life. Like that's such a baller move.
Well, he wasn't renouncing his full religion. He just
Yeah.
he just wished that he spent more time doing
Yeah.
like doing other stuff.
I'm just saying like the energy that is the same thing as like Stephen Hawking like doubling down right before he dies. He's like there is no God.
Have you guys seen the movie on Netflix, The Devil All the Time?
No, but I want to.
Is that Tom
'cause
Holland?
Tom Holland, yeah.
Oh, I
dude,
love
it's
him.
so good.
Okay.
It's really good. It's kind of predictable in some parts, but it ties together. Like it's really well done, and it ties together really well. And like they have, who's the guy that plays? Shit, now I can't remember his name. I'm gonna just
Is
look
it
at
James
one.
Franco or something?
No,
No, Robert Pattinson's in it. The guy who plays
that's what I was
Pennywise
thinking.
is in it, and then the guy that
Bill Skarsgård.
the guy that plays in Harry Potter. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Robert Pattinson, you already
No,
said that.
the other one. Anyway, they do a really good job of like they all have very angular and very distinct faces, and so they do a really good job of like making them look very creepy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's you ever watched the Graham Norton show?
No.
It's like a UK talk show where they just like no holds bars. They talk about everything. It's like super, super funny YouTube clips you can find of it. And there's one where Tom Holland goes on. It was right after Spider-Man Homecoming came out. And someone had pointed out that he looks like he always has a frog in his mouth. And he's like, well, I'm doing it because like, I want that chiseled look, like that heroic look. But you're kind of right. It looks like I have a fucking frog in my mouth. Robert Pattinson.
I always think it's super weird when because he's got an accent, doesn't he?
He's British.
Yeah. So like British actors doing like American accents, I think that's insane to me because like I to be able to like change your voice like that, like people can do like British accents pretty easily and whatever, but like to do an American one, I don't even know what the fuck an American accent sounds like.
It's because it sounds like us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do a British accent right now.
No.
I've never heard you do an accent.
Cheerio, what the fuck?
Melling, the guy that plays Dudley, he's one of them in there. So he's also got a very distinct face.
A round face.
It's weird to think of like people with English accents from the UK doing English accents from America. Or that we have accents too.
Well, when I was in Australia last year, there was a girl that we met up with who was also Canadian, but she had been away for already nearly a year. And we were just hanging out with her. And she's like, I'm with way too many Canadians right now. It's so weird because she can pick out the accent and whatever. Yeah. I'm just like, this is, like, I can't hear it. So, like, I don't know.
Someone said that to me in Vietnam, which we were like right at the end of our trip. And there was a group of us. We were sitting at a table. Everyone was from somewhere else. And I could kind of pick out like their accents. But there's just so many people talking, and then this guy turns to me and he's like, "You have a really lovely accent," and I was like,
"No, I don't."
What? I have an accent?
So we were at a bar in Melbourne, and we were just sitting there. We were talking about like the accent situation and everything, and we were like, how do they know we're not just like American or whatever? Like, how can they pick out from just our accent? So we bugged the table beside us, and we're like, "Hey, do you like just from like how we sound or how we're talking right now? Do you think you can pick out where we're from?" And they're like, "Oh, are you Canadian?" We're like, "Oh, yeah. How'd you figure that out?" She's like, "Oh, Americans wouldn't ask." And I'm like,
that fucking goes.
That's fair.
That's hype. I like the idea of this being like them being like, "Oh, you haven't talked about guns yet."
Well, wait, maple syrup? You guys got
Oh, hold on, you're North American. All right, healthcare or no healthcare? Which one are you?
Yeah.
Like
well, I was watching Guns Akimbo with Daniel Radcliffe the other day, and he does an American accent, and it freaks me out the whole time because
you've heard him for years on years do Harry Potter where he's English. Yeah.
Actually, no, I didn't. I only a couple years ago.
I was with you when we watched all the Harry Potter.
Only a couple years ago, I watched Harry Potter, so I don't know.
No, actually, okay. Just talking about accents, I am completely a Tom Holland fanboy because I love Spider-Man, and I think he's the best version of Spider-Man. There's actually a story when he was initially cast as the role, but they hadn't announced it yet because they wanted to surprise people in Civil War that Spider-Man was going to be there. They sent him to an American school. He had like this joke idea, like, what if you sent me in an American school where I could work on my accent, like get kind of socialized to the environment of a high school, and I can really like portray the high school kid vibe. And the studio was like, absolutely, do it. And he was like, oh, I don't think this is going to go through. So they sent him over. He went to this like super, super smart school in the States. And he was like, one girl was like, and he's like, he admits like he didn't fit in with them. Like he wasn't that smart. He couldn't have made it into the school if it wasn't for this project. Mm-hmm. And the one girl was like, dude, what's your deal? Like, what is going on with you? And then he went back to his British accent and he's like, I'm actually an actor. I'm playing Spider-Man, and explained it. And she was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then he just left school to start filming and just never showed up again. And I love that idea. He just like went up to her and was like, hey, I'm Spider-Man. And then he just fucked off. She's like, where did he go?
Almost like the real Spider-Man would do.
What's Stanley Tucci now?
I don't know who that is.
What?
I probably would know.
Yeah,
who
you
that
do.
Is.
He's been in a lot of things. He has like one of the best range.
Oh, he's in Kingsman.
Actors.
Yeah, he's in Kingsman.
Remember,
and
he's like
Lovely Bones.
Wait, go up.
Merlin from Kingsman.
Oh, him, yeah.
And he's in Lovely Bones, and what are some other ones? He's in Hunger Games.
Yep.
Yeah, he is coming out with a new one with what's his name now? Colin Firth, and it's called Supernova.
Oh,
it's a
I've heard good things
2020
about
British drama film written and directed by Harry McQueen. But it's like a love story.
It's two partners. I don't know if it matters, but two guys. And one of them has like early onset Alzheimer's or dementia.
Where's this?
What movie is this? I was not.
Supernova. It's one that hasn't come out yet.
Romantic drama stars Tucci and Firth as a married couple dealing with early onset dementia. Oh my God. He's my favorite actor. I'm so
Yeah.
excited for this. Holy shit.
Who's your favorite actor? Oh, I know this. No, I don't.
I'm trying to think because I did have a favorite one. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to think of like movies that I've watched even recently. Like I think we talked about it in the last podcast that Robert Pattinson and Daniel Radcliffe are like two of my top favorite now, just because of like the projects that they've been working on, from being in these like crazy high budget
Teen dramas,
and now they're just kind of like they've got the fame, they've got the money now, they can kind of do whatever the fuck they want, and that's why I like admired that Guns Akimbo movie so much, is just because it's like it is a completely different thing from what he has done before, and it's like. Like it's just so interesting that he's doing stuff that he wants to do at this point.
Have you watched The Lighthouse?
Oh no,
We
but
should
I've
watch that.
yeah,
I've heard
I
such good
would
things about it.
Yeah, that was something I was gonna say. Have you ever had like an actor that you've seen them like a bunch of stuff they've acted in and whatever, and they've always had like an American accent, and then they're at an award show or whatever, and then it's just like, oh, he's been British the whole time.
Same thing with musicians, though, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, because they just disappear when they're singing. Yeah.
Sometimes
I had no
What's The
idea
Lighthouse?
until recently.
It's a horror? Oh, psychological.
No, it's like a psychological kind of drama. I think it's him and Willem Dafoe, and I don't think you can go into it too much without like learning the twist of it.
yeah.
But I know it's like super intense, and
It
just
just
kind of fucks with you.
says two lighthouse keepers trying to maintain their sanity while living on a remote and mysterious New England island.
Yeah, apparently it's incredible.
Have you seen the movie Mother with Jennifer Lawrence?
No, it doesn't sound familiar.
It is super interesting, and you will be lost through the entire movie, the entire time, and then you realize like it's all just a big metaphor for one thing, and then you're like, oh, this all makes so much sense now.
What do you guys think of Jennifer Lawrence?
I love her.
Marry me.
Me or Jennifer?
You. We both love Jennifer Lawrence, so we get
Obviously,
married.
He wasn't talking about Jennifer Lawrence.
No, I love Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, no, she's
He
cool.
loves you.
Not to mention, I haven't seen any of the Hunger Games movies, but
No,
What?
I don't watch. I have a lot of knowledge on movies, behind the scenes stuff, and like that type of stuff, but I don't watch a lot of movies.
we talked about this last time as well.
Yeah.
Rick doesn't watch movie. He doesn't care about stories. He doesn't care about like the portrayal of the story. He doesn't care about like the as much as not normal, as much as other people might. Him being in that kind of photography background, he cares much more about the cinematography, how they tell the story, they're showing
behind
what
the
they
scenes
means.
and shit. Behind the scenes shit fucks me up. Like I get giddy watching that shit.
That's why his favorite movie is 1917, 1918.
Yeah, 1918.
19.
1907? Fuck.
1917. We looked
Yeah,
this up last
1917.
time.
19.
That's why it is, because it's a one take and it's done so well, and like you get
1917.
into like it's supposed to be a one take and they didn't do it that way, but that's why he likes it so much, because it's such a cool concept on how you tell a story.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That
And not many
Mother only has a 56% liked on the film on Google users.
Well, I feel like that's because it's kind of hard to understand unless you actually look up the meaning behind it.
you must be big brain.
A young woman spends her days renovating the Victorian mansion that she lives in with her husband in the countryside. When a stranger knocks on the door one night, he becomes an unexpected guest in their home. Later, his wife and 2 children also arrive to make themselves welcome. Terror soon strikes when the Bellegarde
Gesundheit.
wife tries to figure out why her husband is so seemingly friendly and accommodating to everyone.
Oh, I have heard of this. I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Is it on Netflix? Because I only
And
watch things that are on Netflix.
It's
Maybe Prime
is
or
it? I
something.
don't think it's on.
Either way.
I don't know what it's on, but it is a good movie. I recommend it.
Did you guys hear that Borat 2 got announced with its name?
What is it called?
Borat 2 is called Borat, Gift of Pornographic Monkey to Vice Premier Michael Pence to make benefit recently diminished nation of Kazakhstan.
that even got Kayla's attention.
You mean the live studio audience?
Oh, yeah.
live
Kayla's
studio
here. We have a
audience?
live studio audience
Yeah.
today. Kayla's here.
We have someone to witness this.
Yeah, so that's the official title of it. And like, note, Michael Pence is not spelled like Mike Pence of the American presidency. But
Jupiter, Saturn, and the Moon will form a tight triangle tonight.
Illuminati.
Said
oh,
yesterday.
I love a tight triangle.
Hell yeah.
Damn girl.
Oh, yeah.
Damn
Get it.
universe.
Get in Orion's belt.
Undoing Orion's belt.
What sign
Okay.
are you?
What sign am I?
Yeah.
I'm a Scorpio, Libra rising.
I know what that means. What? But Rick doesn't. So what does that mean?
I'm an avocado toast downstream.
I was gonna say I'm a dinosaur because they're all fucking.
I'm a
made up.
Pisces.
You're Pisces?
Yeah.
I'm a Leo.
We're gonna
Okay,
read
what
our
is
horoscopes.
rising?
Libra rising.
Yeah.
Okay, hold
What
on.
does that mean?
Someone else actually just told me about me being a Libra rising. So like Scorpio is like my sign, but like Libra rising is like more of like your personality. Like your rising sign is like more of your personality.
Okay.
With Libra rising, you are socially active and find it natural to engage one-on-one. This makes it easier for you to meet new people, though you'll keep many as acquaintances and few as close friends. You're sensitive to chaos and disruption, which is why you're choosy about companions, which is very much me.
Interesting. So I thought the entire idea of the star signs was like what month you were born determines what your personality is.
But it's changed a lot because, like, I remember that it used to be there were like the 12 signs, whatever there are.
Sure.
And then I remember one day they were just like, yeah, but like the days have shifted, and like everyone was just like, yeah, now you're like sort of something, but something else. And I feel like it's just continued.
I
to
feel
change.
like they want to cover their asses that this doesn't really encapsulate your personality that much, so they're just trying to make it legitimate.
I do read my horoscope sometimes and stuff like that. I do look into it and I find it interesting and whatever, but I do take it with a grain of salt. Like I'm like,
yeah,
how much of this can really be real? Because like if all the Pisces are getting the same thing, then really how personalized can it be?
Statistically speaking, they're going to be right
but
somewhere.
that's why there's different days,
Yeah,
and like different times, and like that all that affects you. That's why when you go to look up what your like rising is or whatever, you have to be very specific on like the time that you were born and what day and like everything about like where you are. Because
do you use the apps? There's one called The Pattern. I think I have on my phone, and there's also CoStar. And then I think there's probably a few more, but it's essentially the same thing where you put on all that information, the date you were born, whatever.
I've heard of CoStar.
And then it'll be super in-depth kind of analysis or whatever written out for you to just read through. And I find it very interesting just because like it's just information that's supposed to be about you or whatever. But I also take it with a grain of salt.
You're a water sign. I also am a water sign. You're a fire sign.
How do you know?
I just literally looked up Leo.
Oh.
So there's like
the water signs.
There are like things that kind of go with like each sign. Kayla, what are you?
Aquarius. I'm an air
Oh
sign.
yeah.
The water
My
sign.
girlfriend's an Aquarius. So.
I'm trying to do a bit.
Or an airbender. I actually
No
like
one wants to
The
listen to
water
you.
and air signs lived in Harmony.
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 Okay, fuck it, I'm done.
Honestly though, like I believe, like I love there's Avatar: The Last Airbender, and the four nations have different like personality traits based on their where they are and stuff, and I always believed that.
The strengths of Pisces are compassionate,
True.
artistic, intuitive, gentle, wise, and musical. Your weaknesses are fearful, overly trusting, sad, desire to escape reality, and can be a victim or a martyr.
Okay, I'm out of here. I don't like how
That was such a personal attack, and I love it.
Do you want yours?
I'm taking a lap.
Let's go.
Your strengths are you're creative, passionate, generous, warm-hearted, cheerful, and humorous. Wow!
Those are all weakness.
We're all talking about
Those are
you.
all
No,
weaknesses.
none of those are a weakness.
Oh god, the worst. Tell me my strengths. What's the bad part?
Your weaknesses are that you're arrogant, stubborn, self-centered, lazy, and inflexible.
Inflexible? Does that just mean not flexible?
I would agree with all those except arrogant. Am I arrogant? Do you think I'm
No.
arrogant? Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'm ignorant for sure. There's a lot of stuff I don't know, and I don't really go out of my way to learn. But I don't think I'm arrogant.
Kayla, your color is light blue and silver.
We knew this.
True.
Look at this shit.
Shocking.
Your weaknesses, Kayla, are that you run from emotional expression. You're temperamental, uncompromising, and aloof.
What's you
Holy fuck! It do be like that. What are your weaknesses?
Distrusting, jealous, secretive, and violent.
Are those I don't know you
But
that
my
well.
strengths are that I'm resourceful, brave, passionate, stubborn, and a true friend.
And violent.
I don't
Also
agree,
strength.
I don't agree with any of the weaknesses. I can't like honestly, like be real. Are those you?
Are you violent? Yeah, she's violent.
No, but every once in a while I do want to fight people.
That's fair.
I did punch my ex-boyfriend in the face. But
Did you?
he fucking pissed me off, and we were also like already broken up, and he was just such a fucking piece of shit. So finally I was like,
Hell yeah.
I have a stupid story about him. It's not even no.
I wanna know?
No. It's not
Okay,
even.
yeah, tell
no.
me.
Okay, so no. It's not even about him. It's about me being a fucking idiot. So this is not the segue I intended, but it's the segue
Okay,
I'm taking.
just keep
so
going.
okay, wait. Did you? I lived a kind of a sheltered life. I didn't know a lot about the real world, whatever.
Well, you couldn't afford to.
you were poor.
Well, no, not even that. I lived in the middle of nowhere. I lived in rural Saskatchewan on a farm
With no heat.
around
Or furnace.
No, this
Frozen
is
milk.
This was a different time. This is the next town I moved to. This is the
We had
place.
to get out of the
After
first
high
town.
school.
This
Got it.
is Eston. This
This is when my
this
dad
is-
stole someone else's identity so he could get a credit card.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So we got a
Was
loan.
this before or after your dad got pulled over, like, without a license?
Years after. My dad didn't have a license for 6 years, and we took 2 trips to BC in that time.
Okay, anyway, can you go on with your story, please?
Anyways, this
You
is.
interrupt him and
Yeah,
then you're like,
you're the one who keeps asking
I know. Now I'm just
questions
like,
that nobody on the other side of this podcast knows about. My dad's a fucking wild card.
Shout out Rick's dad.
Shut up,
Yeah,
it's life.
shout out Lee.
Lee Balzer. Why did you look at me like
I
that?
don't know. I just feel weird.
Okay.
Anyways, so like I had kind of a sheltered whatever life. I didn't like the only 2 bands I knew for like all of my childhood was Good Charlotte and Simple Plan because my sister gave me their CDs and I had a Discman and I listened to them on the bus all the time. Anyways, so first maybe week of starting here school here at Fort Junior in grade 8, I was in art class and somebody was playing
Sarah's ex-boyfriend?
yeah, was playing music or whatever, and it was just like whatever music. I was like, man, this is actually kind of cool. Like, who is this? He's like, oh, it's "Lose Yourself" by Eminem. I was like, huh, I've never heard of it before. And he's like,
What?
Are really? And I was like, yeah, I have no idea. And that was when I realized, like, oh, I'm just behind.
Yeah.
And then I got into a weird Eminem phase, and I'm happy that dissipated.
Yeah. I imagine Rick went to 7-Eleven, bought 4 cans of Monster, popped in Call of Duty, punched a hole in the wall, and listened to Eminem for hours.
Sounds like something Rick would do.
Yeah. Do you think I'm strong enough to punch a hole in a wall?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like as an angsty teenager you would have been, but
You don't see me eyeing up that wall right there. I'm gonna try. Call in.
You.
Call in. I'm gonna need to repair your wall. Help me.
That had so little to do with her ex-boyfriend.
That's what I was saying. I was like, it had nothing to do with it. It's more about me being an idiot.
I don't know about idiot.
And it's not even a good story.
You were sheltered.
I just like talking.
I just like talking.
Sometimes
I
I just
like
be.
the sound of your voice.
Sometimes I just be talking and no one stops me.
Sometimes it do be like that.
do be like that.
Do be like that.
You can like look up your compatibility with another sign.
Can you look up mine really quick?
Okay, so I looked up mine and Collins. We have a 25% overall
Accountability. We take responsibility for
No,
nothing.
wait. Yeah, it's weird. It like breaks it down. There's 1% trust apparently.
Yeah.
25% in sexual and intimacy compatibility. 80% in communication and intellect.
There you go.
10% in emotions.
What would you?
35% in values. 30% in shared activities. 30% summary.
So what would you rate? What would you rate your trust?
100.
What would you rate your communication?
60.
And what was the other big one? Not the sex one, the other one.
Emotions?
Sure.
I'm emotional. Colin, not so much.
So would you rate it?
Like overall?
Yeah.
Definitely 50.
Yeah. Do you think I'm gonna put you on blast here, and I might start some shit if I break you guys up? I'm so sorry. Do you
I don't
think?
think anything at this point could break me and Colin up.
Nice. That's cute. I like that. No, that's sweet. I like that. That's dope. Just
We've
like
been through some shit. In
Yeah,
20 years.
absolutely. No,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Anyway,
I like-
go.
I love that. Do you think? Yeah, like you say, like you're emotional and he's not so much. Do you think you're too much? Do you think he's not enough? Like, do you think it balances out?
I'm a lot. Like a lot. And it's not that he's like not emotional.
Rock.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
he's not emotionless. Like, yeah.
What are emotions?
What are
emotions?
I've been waiting to say that for the right lull, but then you guys just keep talking.
Does anyone really have emotions though?
No, we're not doing the subject. Fuck off, Rick. So like he shows enough that obviously like he's fine. Like it's not a problem. And
yeah. They're just like, but also he's a man and I'm a woman and I'm a fucking psycho Scorpio woman. So like I'm extremely emotional. I feel things very deeply. And then I just like go crazy and he's like, I didn't know that was a thing. And I'm like, yeah, but like apparently it is.
That's what it's like dating someone who doesn't have anxiety as someone who does have anxiety. It's
and
amazing.
I have anxiety and he doesn't have anxiety.
Yeah. It's important to have that, I think. Like it's important to have someone who can ground you in your times.
100%.
I had that a lot with my ex. She like for all the things that were bad in our relationship, I will say when I was anxious and she knew what was going on, she worked her ass off to ground me, and I'll forever be thankful for that. For all of like I have to give her so much credit for that. She held me down a lot.
I not to take away from anything, but I like to take a note that say that literally everyone has anxiety. It's the
To a degree,
yeah,
yes, of
to
course,
a degree.
It's not a switch. It's a level.
And I feel like if you get people to a certain point, like they're gonna feel that anxiety, that panic, that kind of, they're gonna know what you're talking about. Everyone's gonna know what they're talking about when you say you're anxious or whatever. Yeah. Some people have it to a different degree. I like, as far as like getting medication for it or whatever, it's when there's panic and anxiety when you don't actually have anything to be anxious about. That's the issue. But like when people get anxious over like say starting a new job, things that you actually have like are actually like need to be anxious about, like new experience and whatever, that makes sense. That doesn't need to be medicated. I feel like a lot of people are getting medication for things that
there's a difference in anxiety that is rooted in stress and anxiety that is in like and I'm assuming your case as well, is a chemical reaction in your brain that releases for no goddamn reason.
There's like temporary anxieties from like things that happen in life, like you said, like
shit's going
starting
south.
a new job, and they come and then you're anxious about a situation. I love playing footsies with you.
Oh, really?
And then
nice.
There's like actual anxiety.
And that's the thing. It's like everyone at one point or another probably will go through a panic attack and have to go through that. It's just a difference of, is your anxiety rooted in something going on in your world? Is it something like I've been going through panic attacks and shit since I was 8 years old?
Same.
Like it's just
Not,
what it is.
Oh yeah, probably.
But
not that long.
that's the thing. I've kind of realized that my anxiety isn't so much sourced around like me having an imbalance. It's more of like the situation I'm in half the time.
So it's more, and like I'm not putting you on blast. I'm not accusing you. And this is how I feel about you, like legitimately. You don't know how to deal with your shit.
But I also think like socially you're kind of an anxious person and you've like changed a lot in the last year.
But I'm very aware of it too.
Yeah,
like,
and that's what I mean is like I feel like 3 years ago Rick was like super anxious around people and now it's like okay, like maybe you still feel uncomfortable in situations but you're not like anxious to the point of like
I think that may be more because I came from such a sheltered kind of lifestyle and stuff like that, is that I don't know. Like, I feel like people are constantly judging me because I've always been in a situation where I'm feeling judged by like family or whatever.
I legitimately think you are just now more secure in yourself. You like who you are more. Yeah. So you find it less crazy thinking that people won't like you. Because people love you.
Just booked my first therapy session for next week.
We stand therapy.
Can I come? I'm just kidding.
Love that. I'm so excited for you. That's awesome. Is this first at therapy or you done it before?
I have, like, within school. So this will be, like, my first time as an adult talking to a third party about my traumas.
That's awesome.
And,
good for you.
not being such a sad human being.
That's awesome. I want to start going when I start, like, when I can financially make sense of it.
That's the thing is, like... Colin's in a position where like he's got really good benefits and I'm covered under them, so like he's like, Sarah, take advantage of it. Like he's like, you've been talking literally since me and Colin have been dating, which is 3 years now. He's like, you have always said that the big inhibitor for you going to therapy is like
money.
Exactly. It's very expensive, and I think that like therapy should be something that is accessible easily for people.
100%.
And I feel like more people, like literally anyone could go to therapy. Like you don't need to have an issue. Anyone can use somebody to talk to about anything.
Colin, when I was like, I booked mine, and then we were just chatting the other day. I was like, I think you should go to therapy. And he was like, why me? And I was like, everybody needs somebody
Everyone
to
should
talk
go
to.
yeah,
and especially
100%.
if like, if you have to live with me, even if like you're fine, I think it would still be good to like be able to talk to someone about me or like, you know, or not
Yeah.
even me, but just like situations just to talk about things. Like, yeah.
Everyone's got some shit in their closet for sure. Do you get massage therapy out of that as well?
I do.
Come see me.
Okay.
I'll fuck you up.
Wasn't it the first time that you came in, like, for when we did podcast 1 and then you saw my cups?
Right, yeah, you had cupping done and you were all fucked up.
Oh, can we talk about this?
No. Moving on. Just kidding.
So Kayla's showing me this thing. It's what I don't know what it's called.
It's basically cupping for your butt.
Butt
Yeah.
cupping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Butt cupping!
Butt
Yeah,
cupping's a thing.
What?
Okay, well,
What do you need butt cupping for?
Look it up.
for
One
everything.
session of butt cupping
Dude.
is like 2,000 squats.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, wait.
Can we talk about my butt in these pants right now, you guys?
Okay, wait. Can
She is standing up on the table. Oh, Sarah's got a wagon.
You didn't know that?
No.
I got junk in the trunk.
Good for you.
Rick's known
she
this.
did a little twirl?
Yeah. Good for you.
I always have junk in the trunk.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, wait. I want to look up this butt cupping thing.
Okay.
I don't want to do
Okay.
squats.
Can I just go on a massage therapy rant for a second?
Yeah.
So your body has the thing.
Oh, I wrote butt cumping.
That's something else.
We are getting dangerously close to the wrong side of the internet.
Yeah.
Butt cupping therapy.
But yeah, like, so your body has this thing called fascia everywhere. Fascia is
Yes.
the like interconnective web of tissue that holds everything together.
Mm-hmm.
It's cobwebs in everything that hold you together and do shit. The problem is when that's tight and trauma has happened to it and shit's bad, that locks up first, and you can't really do that with just massage therapy. You can, it's just hella painful. It causes so much work. So cupping, it releases that first and foremost.
Oh, okay, but that looks
Sarah's
like one of
looking
those
at
weird
butts.
sex machine things
Oh,
I wanna see it again.
That's
Yup, that looks so painful. That looks
that'll hurt like a butt.
that like a butt.
butt.
Oh no, I'm not a fan anymore.
These are
Okay,
graphic.
No, I
when you
don't
showed
want
me
it
that, the first thing I
anymore.
thought of was the thong song by Cisco.
You know what I've noticed that I really like? Oh my god, no. There's a video. No, I'm not a fan.
What do you like? Tell me.
Oh, just that Kayla's silently laughing over there, and
Yeah.
that was what I was doing episode 1.
Yeah. No. I'm actually super stoked that Kayla's been showing up. She was here last time and she's here for this one, and I hope she continues to show up.
Oh my god. I
She's
wasn't
our
asked to laugh.
studio audience.
Okay, while you were talking about something super serious. Oh, you were talking about when you're telling the meth head story.
Oh, yeah.
She was showing me this video of a girl in Edmonton who has now been recognized as like, she's being recognized for jumping like a horse.
She's in Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Okay.
No.
She gets on all
Didn't we
fours.
look this up?
I don't know. I
She's,
was
maybe
like,
I
she's in
didn't have
Edmonton?
yeah.
Get her on the podcast. So
you're 18 now.
Wait. Hold your horses. Wait, we got a horse girl.
No. Well, I taught, and like when you were going off, I whispered to her, I was like, when you defeat all the horse girls, you have to defeat her, the girl horse.
Wait, she's the only one allowed to have her name spelled like Kaylee with the nay looking
Canali?
with all the G's and H's, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Pop-Tarts came out with Flamin' Hot Pop-Tarts.
Speaking of horse girls,
Oh fuck, that's her. Okay, wait.
they're
I
watching.
feel like I know her.
They're watching this girl jump. She's in her backyard. Literally, she
Oh
sets
my god,
up
no,
like a
literally I
horse
watched
track,
this the other day.
and she gets on all fours and gallops around.
That's disgusting.
Did it do the slow mo one yet? Oh, you're watching the video? Okay, you are watching the video. There's one where it's like slow motion of her jumping over like kind of an impressive amount of height, actually. I was holding this in while you were talking about the meth head.
See, and then I could see you guys doing that, but Rick didn't notice he was really into his story, so I was trying to be into the story, but I saw that you guys
I saw you
were
guys laughing.
I had already heard it, so I'm like, I can just check out. It's fine. Oh, that was good. Oh, speaking of funny videos, I saw this video today. A wrestler, there's like a national or an international wrestling competition in Japan right now. And one of the wrestlers who ended up like getting like third or second, he had shit himself mid-match. but still won.
That's how he won.
Yeah.
That's how you win.
And then afterwards, like in his interview, he was like, he was a tough opponent. He literally made me shit myself, but I still came out on top. And I just appreciate that level of PR work. Yeah.
Flaming hot
Pop-Tarts.
So we had this discussion. My roommate, he just eats Pop-Tarts raw.
Like untoasted?
Yeah,
Yeah,
raw. Which is allowed, but it just seemed like...
But not in my house.
But no, yeah, we kicked him outside while he ate them.
Yeah.
Didn't want those uncooked crumbs on the ground. No, we were just making fun of them. It's because like they're called Pop-Tarts because you put them in the toaster. Duh. But you can also microwave them. What else? How else can you cook a Pop-Tart? Just
Fry it up in oil.
just in the oven. You can freeze them. People freeze them a lot.
You could cook them in the oven.
Yeah.
Actually,
That takes a lot of time and energy when you just put it in a fucking toaster.
one more Nathan Teskey story. Nathan Teskey used to eat pizza pops at school every lunch. He always had 2 pizza pops, but he didn't microwave them. He would leave them in his locker so they would de-thaw, and then he would eat them like that.
My girlfriend was drunk and went to go grab her pizza pop the other day and legit gave herself a 2nd-degree burn and had like a huge scab on her arm from the pizza pop exploding onto her arm.
Pizza Pops is getting worse lately, I feel like.
Gum's getting mintier. What's that from?
The Office.
Is that the
Yeah. Gum's getting mintier, isn't it?
Recently.
Like, yeah.
Fuck. What have you guys been watching recently?
The Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 4 episodes in.
Who told you to watch The Boys?
Just some boy. I know.
The boy.
The boy.
boys. They came to my house.
Brahms the boy, too.
Sarah, you watching anything on Netflix?
I watched episode 1 of Ratchet.
I don't know what that is.
Did you watch more of it? Is it worth it? Yeah.
Kayla's.
Kayla's
Do you want
piping
to chat
in.
about it?
It is by the same people who did.
No, start over.
It's by the same people who did American Horror Story.
Yeah.
It's got the same producer, and Sarah Paulson stars in it, and she's amazing. That's all I want to say.
Do you guys know what it is?
No.
It's
No.
from...
Is it based on Ratchet and Clank?
From what?
The video game?
No. Yeah. One from
Oh.
the Cuckoo's Nest.
I don't even know.
Interesting.
The nurses that like...
Oh, I have heard of
did the
this.
shock therapy and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I only watched episode 1. But it's really well done, and like it is very similar to American Horror Story in the way that they like produce it. I also watched it the day after I watched The Devil All the Time, so it was 2 very psychologically fucked up episodes, one after the other. And is that Colin's hat?
I don't know. It's about to be.
You can get some head lice.
You have a big head.
I have a fat head. Matches the small penis. I just said that. Oh, God. I'm going to have to learn how to beep stuff.
No, that's staying on.
No.
Actually, you know what? It has a 4.5 Ratchet, not your small penis.
No, it's got a 4.5 on Yelp.
4.5 inches?
It may be short. It may be short, but fuck is it skinny.
The new season of Haunting of Hill House. So actually, it's more of the Haunting of Bly Manor.
I'm so excited for that.
It comes out next month, October
hype.
9th.
Raul Coley, I love him. So he used to play. He was in iZombie, I think it's what it's called. You guys ever watch that? Super, super good show. He was in that, and he was really, really incredible. And I follow him on Twitter. He actually featured on a bunch of like Let's Plays on a gaming channel that I watch a ton. And now, yeah, he's in that, so I'm super excited for that.
He's in like the haunting.
Yeah.
Like that you were still going off that. Okay, yeah, I zoned out. I was reading about it because the Haunting of
Podcast is slowly deforming into both you being on your device
me
and me panicking.
So the Haunting of Hill House was like something that I was really into because the production of it was super cool because they like built. Because it was the house that they built on a soundstage,
yeah,
like in a set. The idea for that, for like the way they wanted it to look, is if you were like seeing in the dark, which cameras can't pick up. You can't do that, so you need the lighting. So what they did was they replaced the roof, and they just had like these lights just over floodlights that just kind of like emitted like a low blue kind of tinged light, and And then they just did that, and I feel like that's really cool, just for like how they get the lighting and stuff.
Because it would be cheaper to do it any other way. But that's not going to be the same quality.
Yeah,
you're not going to get the same feel.
So like you get all the dramatic shadows and everything, and it's just really like I find that stuff really interesting. How they just use lighting to make it seem a little creepier and whatever. And then another cool thing about that show in general is they have like extra ghosts.
I love that
they have hidden throughout the show, just in the house and whatever, that you can just pick up, and you're like, these ghosts have nothing to do with the story, but you can just see there's so much more.
Yeah. No, and it's one of those shows. The more you watch it, the more you get out of it too. It's so good. Actually, speaking of like cool media stuff coming out, did you hear about Among Us 2?
Getting canceled?
Yeah. Do you know what Among Us is?
I just read something about that. Hold on.
So Among Us is this game that came out. It's like
it's a murder mystery game.
Yeah,
it's like Clue.
Clue online.
Yeah.
You get in like a party with 10 of your friends, and 2 of them are aliens trying to murder everyone.
Yeah.
And then you got to like slowly figure out which one of you is the murderer before they
doing tasks and everything.
Yeah, it's really cool. Super popular. Streamers are playing the hell out of it. And they're actually they're working on a sequel for it. They're planning on releasing it. And because of how popular the initial game got, they've canceled, and now they're just going to put more content into the first game.
Yeah.
Which, imagine
that's a good idea.
Accidentally creating something that takes over the goddamn world. Like, they were planning on making a second one. So obviously they're like, okay, we made this, it's done. Let's work on the next thing. And then they were just like, oh, fuck.
I have one example in my head. Accidentally... What?
Fortnite.
Flappy Bird.
Okay, you're going to talk about yours, and then I'm going to tell you why you're wrong.
He accidentally made something that was overly popular to the point where he had to shut it down because he was just like, this is not what I wanted. This is what I was getting into. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Fortnite, the original Fortnite is a player versus environment. It's a tower defense game. It's you link up with your friends and you beat like wave after wave of aliens. It's zombies. Except you build shit. The Battle Royale, which is a gimmicky thing kind of done as a stunt, like a PR stunt. And now that's all it's ever known for.
Yeah.
There's tweets saved from Epic Games, who releases Fortnite.
Yeah.
There's tweets that people have saved where it's just like, no, the Battle Royale won't take over. Fortnite is made to be a PvE. It will never be anything more than that. And then everyone's like,
yeah, we're not playing your
you
shit game.
Fucking wrong, by the way.
So you know all that work and all that story building and world building you put into it? Yeah, we're going to play one other fucking map. That's
Happy Season 10. I want to play as Iron Man now, please.
Yeah, what has that game divulged into? Just like product placement?
A little bit. They had a Thanos thing running for a bit. They did a bunch of Avengers stuff. Yeah.
They have live concerts.
Yeah, they had the Dead Mouse concert. Or Marshmallow,
yeah.
Dead Mouse.
That I think it's really weird. Yeah. Like it kind of makes sense in COVID era. Like,
oh, absolutely.
But like before that, it's like, what do you do? Just go to a concert.
yeah, because the first one was before COVID.
I think so. Yeah,
I'm so positive it was. No, so it's kind of cool. But yeah, I couldn't imagine working on something and getting ready for the next project. Imagine going to work and you're just like working on like accounting firm papers.
Well,
you're like doing the hell out of these papers, and then you turn them into your boss and like, okay, I gotta get started on the next one. Your boss was like, these were so good, I want to go back to them, and you're like, okay.
Like put this into like a way that fits you more. Like imagine putting out like an album, like songs you worked the hell out of and whatever, and then coming out with like a B-side with like demos and whatever, and that just fucking blows up. Just the demos.
No, I imagine like if I went to go record the first record, or like my first full length, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, dude, this EP bangs, like start doing that. Oh shit, something kind of cool happened with all the music stuff. I told Rick about this already, but
okay.
So a buddy of mine from my hometown, Jesse Cinnamon, shout out Jesse, his last name is actually Cinnamon, and I fucking love him for it. Yeah, we've been best friends from like since grade 1, and he's always been like super supportive of the music stuff. Absolutely, like just always in my corner.
Yeah.
Recently, he started getting into streaming, so he's on Twitch and he got into the stream community.
Yeah.
His stream is Cinemonster 101. Check him out on Twitch. I'll link him in the description. So yeah, he's been in this like kind of streamer party with like 15 to 30 different other people, and they all just have super super fun times, funny stream moments. Awesome. Came over to my house a couple weekends ago, and he's like, yeah, like let's go into this guy's chat. He's just kind of doing like a talking stream with his chat box. Let's get in on there and like just talk to him. I was like, yeah, sure. So we get in there, start talking to the guy, and he's like, oh, Cinemonster, good to see you. And then he's like, who's this? And Jesse explained, oh, it's my buddy from way back when. Like, we're just kind of hanging out this weekend, and we were gonna fuck off and go play a game. And right as we were about to leave, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna plug myself. Fuck it. So I was like, check out You Yourself on Spotify. Have a good night. And the guy's like, whoa, wait. What's You Yourself? So then I like typed in. I was like, oh, it's my music stuff. Like, check it out. He's like, can I listen on stream right now? And I was like, yeah. So then he listened to like half of my EP on stream and was just like losing his mind. Like, dude, this is sick. This is amazing.
Oh my God, amazing.
And the first joke my buddy Jesse thought of is like, all right, copyright strike him. Like, take him down.
Any money he's made right now?
Yeah.
Mine.
Yeah, mine. But yeah, then he's like, dude, like, this is awesome. And then a bunch of his chat were like, oh, this is so cool. Like, send the link. One girl was like, keep us updated when you make the next album. And then Rick's taking a picture right now. And then, memories. I love it.
Save for the memes.
But yeah, and then he's like, oh, do you mind if I use if I use any of your music for like my intro cards and stuff? It's not really like good, like high intensity gaming music.
Yeah.
Oh God, hold on. Sorry. Hold on. Copyright strike. But yeah, so he's like, do you mind if I use it for my intro cards? And I said, not at all. And so he's going to play it on stream and listen to the intro cards. And
I love
spread it out. So I was kind of hype about that.
Yeah,
all right, I'll be right back.
Be.
Jam.
Jam. One of us always gets a call.
Yeah. Why does it have to be? It was me the first time, it was you the second time, and it's this fucking guy.
We're just trying to live. I'm watching a video right now of every kitchen should have these cool gadgets, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of entranced.
Yeah.
And now
I'm in. Oh God, are they making
pierogi?
Those are pizza pops. That's a pizza pop maker.
No, ravioli. You also missed half of it.
No,
Like,
I don't need to
there's
see
so
the
many
rest.
cool things
Nobody
in
can see this
here.
but us. We're just reacting. Let's live react to this video that nobody else can see.
Easy mincing, batter. What?
Are we watching cooking videos?
Oh my God,
Dude,
you
I
can
watch
make
so many.
crepes so easily,
Oh, I love crepes.
bro.
If we do a breakfast podcast, I'm making crepes.
Okay, I'm so down.
I'm breaking plates.
Sometimes. I'm changing fates. Keep the rhyme going. Can I write music live on the podcast sometime?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Whoa, a sushi maker, bro.
You gonna record acapella with me?
Sushi's just fish origami. We all know it.
I'm mad because he's not wrong. I like it. How did you get here? Where are you right now?
I'm
Yeah.
watching videos right now on Twitter.
great.
This is a 20-minute video and she's just in
It's
it.
2 minutes. It's gone.
I'm joking.
It's done.
Do you want kids one day?
I'm gonna tag you in this.
Okay. Do you want kids one day, Rick?
Maybe if I become rich, because I don't want them to be poor like I was.
What? You came out fun.
Fair enough.
yeah.
No, only if they're funny.
Children's are expensive.
But you can't teach funny. I gotta like abandon them
You
somewhere.
gotta traumatize them.
I gotta traumatize them at a young age, and then like reel it back right at the end. You know, like right when they turn like 16, you're like, hey, I'm the cool fun dad now.
On this podcast, because he's funny.
Because he'll relate. He'll be like, yeah, that's how I do it.
Do you want kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
How many?
3.
3?
Come on in, guy. I'm going somewhere with this. Just bear with me.
Okay, that just reminded me of something else.
Okay, you go and then I'll go.
No, okay.
Talk me into it.
Does anyone else's family have a weird obsession with Extreme Makeover Home Edition?
Yes.
Growing up?
Every time.
Did we all have the same childhood here?
No, we weren't poor.
No. Because you said in the last podcast, like, I don't mean to be a piece of shit, but I think I grew up rich, but I didn't know. I was kind of the same way, but the opposite.
Yeah.
I grew up poor, and I didn't realize until like way later. I was
Wait,
just like,
you grew up rich?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. I shouldn't say rich. Like we weren't like I didn't have servants. No, it was just like we had a nice
That's
acreage.
what defines you as rich, is you have a servant?
I shouldn't say like we weren't upper class. We were like upper middle class. Like
Like you guys were comfortable.
we were comfortable. We had like razors and like not like razors, but like side by sides and motorbikes.
Did you have a
and
Brita
Skidoos.
filter?
No, we had a water cooler. Like a Brita filter, but better.
Was it by Brita?
But yeah, no, like I always worried about money. Like that's how I knew I was an anxious kid, because I was like, oh my gosh, like my parents, like my mom's worried about money, like we're screwed. Didn't even recognize how okay we were.
Yeah.
And then like I was 16 and my parents were just like, all right, like here's your vehicle, go ahead. The rule was they would buy us our first vehicle. We weren't allowed to drink and drive. We weren't allowed to smoke. We weren't allowed to like disobey too much.
Did you pay for insurance?
Yeah. Paid insurance myself, had to get a job to pay gas, all that stuff. But they'd buy me a vehicle as long as I supplied the stuff and didn't turn into a little asshole.
Did they pay for your schooling?
Yeah, they helped.
We weren't, there were times where I think like my parents did struggle. But like do you know how many siblings I have?
No.
I have two older brothers. No, I have two older brothers, an older sister, and a younger sister.
I didn't know
But
this.
you didn't know this?
I didn't know yet. I
so my
don't think I've ever
mom-
asked.
My mom has a kid in the Philippines. He's 29. Yeah. And then my dad's got like my older sister, and she's how old am I? I'm turning 24. Yeah, so she's 29. And then him and her mom got divorced, and then he had my brother, and he's 2 years older than me. And then they never got married, and then my dad met my mom and had me and my sister. So my dad was paying for 2 other kids.
Yeah.
And then I think if situations were like a normal family, like he would have had like quite a good amount of money like to support. But then like he had like us plus 2 other kids, and my mom had like a family in the Philippines that she was like supporting too at the same time. So there were times I think that we struggled, but that was something that Colin and I talked about the other day. Is like if we ever have kids, like you have to be prepared to like pay for their schooling.
Well,
and like that's $20,000 each kid.
And
then, like,
honestly, you got to be prepared for literally anything. Like,
Yeah.
what if they get sick or like anything like that? You got to be thinking like that. That's one thing that would make me the most anxious about having kids in general. Would just be like there's so much uncertainty. Like you could have kids and there'd be a global pandemic and like everything shuts down. You can't work. Like what the
Shout out
fuck?
my sister.
That doesn't scare me because I feel like so long as you like lean with love and then also just like use every situation and kind of like teach your kids, they're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Like look, you turned out fine. You're a little fucked up, but you turned out fine. And like look at everything you've been through. You know what I mean?
Is this podcast just us calling out Rick?
I haven't honestly. I don't even think I've been through a lot. Like as far as like
because you're used to your own traumas.
Well, it's not even that. Like I've only ever had like. When's the first time you experienced death? Like a death, like
I was
not to get
I was really
super
young.
dark.
8 or 9.
I was
My
really
best
young.
friend died of a heart malfunction.
See, I've only lost 2 grandparents. That's it.
Yeah.
I've
You want to
a
lose more?
huge what? I have a huge family. I have a brother and a sister, and I have 19 cousins.
Yep.
Whoa.
I never grew up with cousins. We weren't close with my cousins at all, so
Oh.
I've seen them like
We were really close to my family until my grandpa died, but I feel like that's also like a very typical family story.
Yeah.
One of the grandparents always is like the glue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Saskatchewan, I went to school with all my cousins.
That's all that was in the school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like my
His
cousins,
dad was the principal.
My cousins were up in
His
Saskatchewan.
mom was the
They all went to school together.
What is this, cheaper by the dozen? We're all homeschooled. They just told me it was school. We rented a school bus.
They drove around the house.
Drove around the block.
Around to the front door.
I was told the blindfold was necessary to get to school.
Okay, I brought up kids for like one reason, and I'm gonna go back to that now. So y'all want kids? Do you have like family traditions that you want to like have
You
with
want
your kids?
kids?
Oh, I absolutely want kids.
Yeah.
I'm like I recognize how scary the world is right now, how fucked up shit is right now, and I'm not ready for kids. Like
I'm not fucking ready for
I need
kids.
things like to change. I also think about it daily. Like I know my anxiety and my depression is hereditary. Like I know my mom had it.
Yes.
My grandparents had it. Like it goes back.
Yeah.
So I'm scared to give that to someone else. But if my head was this bad and my mom was still there for me and did all her shit for me,
Yeah.
I can do that for someone else. So I'm not too worried about in that realm. But I want kids so bad.
Okay, speaking of traditions, what is yours then?
So my dad he used to run a lumber mill. That was his job, and that's why we were well off, was because he was the manager of this lumber mill family business. And he hired a ton of my brother's buddies. Like 7, 8, probably 10 of his friends were employed at the lumber mill.
Okay.
Every Thursday night after work, they would come to our house for supper. So my mom would cook this big ass meal for everyone. They'd all come over. We'd sit down at the table, and like we didn't really have, up until I was probably 15, we had like family dinner, like you sat down and ate with your family, and then past that we didn't. We never had that. Yeah. But then that's when my brother and his buddy started coming over. So all the time, every Thursday night, they'd all come over and we'd have this big awesome meal. And that was just like some of my favorite memories of just sitting around with my brothers. And like, of course, like your older sibling, they're your fucking hero, right?
Yeah.
And you just like worship everything they do. My brother's buddies are the coolest, so they'd come over all the time. And I want to do that. I want to be the parents that adopt the other kids. You know how it's like, oh, she's like my second mom. I want that.
My mom literally never told anyone that they were not allowed to come over. Even if she didn't like them. Like, I swear, like, half my high school, I had, like, all my friends over for dinner. Like, there were so many times that, like, she always made extra because, I mean, as a parent, like, your kid's got to take,
well,
like,
you just
to school the next day and stuff, right? But, like, yeah, she always made, like, way too much food. And then we always had people over. We always had friends over.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
So I've had the opposite. Not so much, really. My like, grandparents would always have, like, big meals or whatever for big holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas, like whatever, those ones. But like I for pretty much all my childhood we just lived out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
There was like, it was either an acreage or like a farm or whatever, and yeah, so we just didn't have much visitors. But
as far as do like cute things that I never did as like a kid, and like Colin's fam did a lot of stuff, like a lot. They were pretty well off, so like they went skiing together all the time, and like that was just not something that we could do. But like, yeah, I want corn mazes in the fall to go every year, like that kind of thing.
We always did like a big family vacation, like we went to Cancun or Mexico. Or whatever.
Yeah, I've never had a family vacation.
I know so many people are like, yeah, we would go where so and so with like all of us, and then they'd all go on like a cruise or like a vacation or something. I'm like, wow, what is that like?
My 14th birthday, my parents were on a cruise without me. That's where my
parents'
life was.
Time off every year always happened to be on my birthday, and they were always somewhere else, not for my birthday.
When's
like
your birthday?
November 9th.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like, yeah, they would take their vacation, they would go to California, and they'd London or somewhere, they'd be somewhere else, and I'm like,
somewhere really fucking cool too.
Yeah, I'm like,
where
okay,
you're like, I want to go.
It's my birthday. I'm your fucking child.
My 18th birthday, my brother and sister and brother-in-law, who are like three of my favorite people in the world, they went on a big group trip to Europe. They were gone for like 4 months, and for my birthday, for my 18th birthday, they were gone, and that broke my goddamn heart.
I was gone for my sister's 21st.
My sister and Kyle listened to this, so guys, I don't hold it against you. I'm glad you went on the trip and had fun.
Well, I do.
I have no resentment. I'm glad you went, but it bummed me out.
You.
I miss you guys. Shout out Liam, my little adorable nephew. He was born during a pandemic.
Mine was born right before a pandemic, super early. He was 8 weeks early. I'm so excited. I'm going to see him tomorrow.
That's exciting.
I haven't seen him.
I get to see Liam on Thanksgiving. Going to visit.
I'm so pumped. He's going to be a year at the end of October. How is my little nugget already a year?
Did you had talked about how you had traveled or whatever, like you'd gone on family vacations or whatever. Another thing I didn't do until I was 20. I didn't get a passport until I was 20. The farthest place I'd been would have been BC. Like BC and Manitoba that way, like the other way.
Yeah.
I had never been out of the out of the country or anything. And so I had my passport for like, and now I've been like
Europe,
I've
Australia,
been Ireland,
Thailand, Bali.
Ireland, Bali, and Australia for like a full month,
And
which
New York.
And New York, that was 4 days. That
Yeah,
San Francisco?
Went to New York.
Yes.
Yeah, San Francisco.
yeah.
You're well traveled, is what you're saying.
And all within like a couple of years. I think it's because I'd never had the opportunity to actually do
That
it.
was me too.
Yeah.
Shout out John Bennett for getting Rick out of the country.
For smuggling me.
Smothering.
Yeah, he killed me.
He's going to be worried that I said that. Now, John, you don't smother us. We love you. We miss you.
Smothering me out of the country.
Mine was the same though. Within the span of like 3 years, I went to like 10 new places or something like that. Like when I was in junior high, my mom took us to California and we went to Disneyland. It was just me and my sister, so we didn't do like a family thing. But I know like my mom busted her balls to take us. Mm-hmm. And then we went on one family trip to the States, to West Virginia, or not to West Virginia, but to Virginia.
West Virginia.
West Virginia. But then once I was like in a position where I could pay for myself to go, what?
I just thought of a funny sidebar. I'll tell after. Sorry, go ahead.
I went to California again by myself as like an adult.
Right, you had talked about that you went with a friend, right?
Yeah.
And then you had like
I
there was
met
like
her down there.
an emergency thing where it was.
Oh yeah, if my dad had friends down there, yeah, if shit went down, yeah. So I went to California, and then now I've been to Phoenix and Vegas and Mexico, Costa Rica, Panama, Sri Lanka, Vietnam.
Gesundheit.
So many, yeah.
Japan.
You've been to Japan?
I was in Tokyo for 3 days, actually coming home in February.
I want to fucking go to Japan so bad.
I would like to see more of Japan. I don't think I've got a good enough representation. Like so the options coming home from our 6-week trip at the beginning of the year was either a 10-hour layover overnight in Tokyo or a 3-hour or a 3-day layover.
Yeah.
And it was the same amount. Like
you might
price.
as well take the 3 days.
So we took 3 days, yeah. And then but by the end we were exhausted, and it was so starkly different from Vietnam.
Of course.
And so it was a really big shock. And then like it was after 6 weeks, we were exhausted and we were like getting close to broke. And yeah.
That's right. West Virginia. So one thing,
West Virginia.
That song, Country Roads Take Me Home by John Denver.
Yeah.
He had actually never been to West Virginia, the state. So because there's West Virginia and then there's Virginia, right?
Yeah.
Those are 2 different states.
Yeah.
He had never been to West Virginia. So that song is actually about the western portion of Virginia, which I think is funny. It's just like a funny
But not
factoid.
actually like the state West Virginia.
Correct.
I
Just
got
the
you.
western portion of Virginia. Fallout 76 is a video game that came out and bombed. It was real bad. It was the idea of it. Every Fallout game is this like post-apocalyptic, basically like humans survived or like humans caused a nuclear holocaust. Everyone went into hiding in these vaults, and then all the games take place after you open up those vaults and go explore the world. So they're all this like dystopian, post-apocalyptic nuclear shindig.
So like us after 6 months of quarantine.
Yes, 100%. And they've always been, and they've always been first player, like one player. They've never had multiplayer before.
Okay.
And Fallout 76 was the first time they tried it. The entire game was multiplayer, so you could get with your friends and go do stuff in the wastelands. And the idea is that it takes place in Virginia, so that was a big part of the campaigns and all the stuff. And that was when I learned to play guitar and started singing and stuff. So me and my buddies, we'd get together and get in these parties and then just go find other players and kill them and go around their bodies. And then we go in the game chat where the other people could hear us, and I would just play that and we would dance.
Oh my God.
So, like, imagine just playing in a video game, like having a good time. 5 people come over a mountaintop, kill the shit out of you, dance around your body while it's just going, country roads, take me home to the place.
It's just a death
I
party.
belong. It was awesome. That was some of the most fun I've ever had.
Sounds like a death party.
What time are we at?
We're at like, probably an hour and a half. We can probably call it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Kayla's dead over here.
Kayla's having a good time. The studio audience is out.
Yeah. You know it's a good podcast when the studio audience just falls asleep.
We are aware of that.
That's why we have a podcast, Kayla.
Yeah.
Because we're not funny enough to make it on the internet. Yeah.
All I'm good for is talking. I'm not entertaining.
Yeah,
But I can fill an hour and a half.
I've heard 3 hours you could do, actually.
We've never tested my limits.
All right, before we go, Sarah, what's your official call? Do I cut my hair or do I keep it long?
Keep it.
Yeah?
Yes.
Do I cut my hair?
Keep it. I'm always down for long hair.
We should.
Guys
Me
with
and
long
Rick
hair,
about to come out of quarantine looking like Harry Potter number 4.
It's still even quarantine though.
It's kind of quarantine.
Not really.
Yeah, you're right.
It's
If
really
I'm not allowed to go over and hug my neighbor, I've
Would
never.
you go over
Well, that's
No,
not
I
because of
would-
quarantine. That's because of the restraining order.
Yeah, I'm not allowed over her
'Cause
anymore.
they're too close to a playground.
If I'm not allowed to pet a stranger's dog without washing my hands, I should probably wash my hands.
Well, I went to Abbotsford and he went with my parents to Prince George. My parents are driving home right now.
Gotcha.
My sister moved and left me.
I forgot about
here
Doggo.
today.
Dodge.
All right, before we go, where's the weirdest place you've ever woken up?
Oh, woken up. Okay, not fallen asleep. Fallen asleep was the
fallen
original.
asleep then.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Weirdest place I've ever woken.
Okay, do either one. Weirdest place you've woken up or fallen asleep?
So the weirdest place I've fallen asleep was during a Red concert. Do you know that band? It's a Christian rock band or whatever in YC, which is like, this is before I lived here in Edmonton. So like,
You drove.
we drove from rural Saskatchewan to come to this youth conference thing, and there was a concert, and I was sick, and I just fell asleep in the seat in Rexall during a concert.
Right.
Loud music.
Yep.
and I woke
Kids will
up.
literally sleep through anything.
Yeah.
No. How old were you? 18.
Well, this is like last week. No.
Yeah.
No, I would have been like maybe
11,
13. Yeah.
You? Weird place you fallen
I
asleep?
don't know. Fallen asleep or woken up? I don't know.
Which one is easier to answer?
I can tell you like one of the weirdest moments I've woken up, but like not like a weirdest place.
Sure.
Sri Lanka. It was our first day. We were at this hostel called Camp Kush, and so we had to go.
That's not real.
Legit.
You're fucking lying to me.
Legit. It was fucking awesome.
Okay,
The
the hostel we stayed at in Bali in Ubud was called the Happy Mango Tree, and I just wanted to say that it was $3 a night
Camp
Canadian.
Kush director Post Malone.
What was his name? Oh fuck.
Snoop Dogg.
It'll come back to me.
The weirdest. Were you done? You weren't
No.
even done your
I
story.
didn't even
Fuck.
Starting my story.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, we had traveled, so we had to go from here to Calgary, London. It was like 10 hours to London. Then we had a 10-hour layover in London, so we spent all day there. And then it was 10 hours from London to Colombo. So it was like,
Long day.
oh yeah, like 2 full days of traveling, bunch of time,
Killed it.
time zone changes, whatever. So we go to bed, and it's our first day there. We left here when it was a cold bubble. And we got there and it was 32 degrees. So like not totally acclimated yet.
Yep.
Anyway, so we had booked this like little private room, but the one that we chose was like the deluxe one. So we had like this little like kind of like house thing, but it was literally just like a bed and a bathroom.
Okay.
But it looked like a tiny little house. Anyway, so the doors were tiny and they were wooden, and then there were like the 2 little double door things. And so we finally fall asleep and we're naked because it's fucking hot. And there were 2 dogs there, and the one, her name was Elsa, and she was my favorite and she loved me. But she, I guess, has a habit, and she'll go around to every like little hut thing that they have and check on the people in the middle of the night. So she came up and she figured out how to open the doors, and she jumped up with both paws and pushed the doors open. And then we thought someone was just breaking into our room. So Colin like jumped out of bed naked, like arms up, ready to fight someone. And this dog like looks at us and then like turns around and walks out.
Bar?
And then it's just like, yeah, bye.
Okay, wait.
And then we had to go back. to bed.
Sorry, but the confidence you have to want to fight someone naked, like you're ready to do it.
Yep.
The funniest thing is too that Colin is not a fighter. Like not.
Yeah.
That's not in his nature at all. Like he's the biggest.
It's
pussy.
something about being naked that he's just like
He's just like
ready to fuck or fight.
Feels empowered.
dude's just rock hard.
It's too early to, or it's too hot out here to fuck. So
He was about to use it as a weapon.
Yeah.
The meat treat. Oh my god, that is my boss's Snapchat name. Da meat treat.
The meat tree.
Da meat treat.
I think the best Snapchat name I've ever heard is MILFs Only.
We're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah.
Rick wants to talk about his weirdest places. Yeah.
The weird. Okay, do you remember when we used to go to party in Rocky Mountain House like for a while it was like almost every weekend we'd go
My
there.
hometown.
Yeah, we'd drive 2 hours just to go party at this.
Shitty ass bars in this shitty ass townhouse.
This is just a weird little side note about the strip club there used to be called the Saddle Sore. Which is just the funniest name for a strip club. Imagine
Saddle sore.
Yes.
that just screams STD.
Imagine going to an establishment and leaving with a virus that's named after the establishment. Yeah, that was what it was called.
Yeah,
It's now called Secrets. Shout out.
which is not better.
No, it's better.
Now they
It's not
keep
allowed. That's worse.
now they
than
keep the
Saddle.
saddle sores a secret.
Yeah. See, the thing is, they didn't change the sign. There's a big neon sign that says Saddle Sore, and they just like posted a stick on that says Secrets. So it's like it's a secret, but it's not a secret.
So we used to party there every weekend or
Saddle
whatever.
Sores?
What, sorry,
In the town.
In the town. I
don't know if Rick ever went to the Saddle Sore.
No,
had to
no,
confirm
I've never
that.
been to a strip club, and I'm actually, frankly, kind of against them. I don't like strip. I feel like I'd just be uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's not.
I'd just be like
I've
you
never
just
had a good time at a strip
like
club.
you just sit next to
have.
people and like talk, or
How much you make? See, I made
What do you
$0.
like
That's
to
why
know?
I didn't like it.
Want to see the envelopes in my bag?
No, I want you to never raise your eyebrows at me again.
They're full of cash. Fine, I
Your
will show
eyebrows.
you.
anyways. Yeah. So I like I don't like what you guys are doing.
Tell your story.
I can't.
Okay, so Rick went down to party in Rocky.
Yes.
Not the Saddle Source specifically, but in Rocky.
The place is called Boomers. Is it still there?
Yeah, Boomers is still
Is
there.
it still like it was? Because I remember going there, and there used to be just old men that would stand there just having a beer, leaning up against the wall,
Looking
staring at people on the dance floor.
20-year-old girl to fuck.
Yeah.
Into that.
Yeah. So I got super drunk. I don't remember. I just blacked out. And buddy Jesse Cinnamon, he got a cab for me to go home back to like where we were staying at his place. And me and him went back to his place, and he didn't have his key with him, so he had to climb up onto his balcony and like open the door and let me in, whatever. And then I just fell asleep on the couch, and I woke up next to a destroyed coffee table.
Split down the middle.
Without my phone.
Alone.
And alone. And you're just echoing me. I'm echoing you, actually.
Because he's panicking.
and like I had no idea what happened the night before. I didn't have my phone. I didn't know where my wallet was. I was just like in straight up panic mode. I was hungover as shit. Like I don't remember.
I'm alone and scared.
Who broke this coffee table?
Long story short,
Call my mom.
I didn't break the coffee table. Apparently somebody else did that while I was sleeping.
The owner did. She hated the coffee table and she wanted to get rid of it forever. And so she and I'm not kidding, axe kicked it.
What?
She threw her leg up and came straight down and split it in half.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Right next to where I was sleeping.
Yeah.
And you
While
didn't
he was
even wake
sleeping.
up.
And maybe I did. I just don't fucking remember.
That was a rough
good
night.
point.
Maybe I'm like,
That was
keep
a
it
long
down.
one. That was. Oh, I don't know if I can put that on blast. I shouldn't tell this story. You know what?
No.
We're gonna leave it at that.
All right, that's a good place.
We're
Thanks
just
for coming for our podcast.
Yeah, episode 3.
Thanks for showing up.
Wow, episode 3.
Episode 3. Only 7 to go before one of us leaves.
Yeah.
Who will it be? Who will survive?
Who's good? Who are we vote? We're gonna have a vote.
Oh yeah.
Who we voting off? The least favorite.
Okay, well,
We'll start a Twitter
my
poll.
vote is still you.
Oh, why?
Yeah, for sure.
Why? I bring the least. I'm running out of stories, actually.
Hashtag Rick is over party.
Yeah, Rick's canceled.
Rick's canceled. We all know that.
Hashtag Rick's canceled.
All right, folks. Thanks for listening. Share with friends. Hit us up if you want to be on the podcast. I like leaving it open-ended like that. Just come on the podcast. Fuck it.
Yeah, come on the podcast. Show up.
Only
We'll let
if you're
you
the
in.
horse girl.
Yeah, if you're the horse girl,
Yeah.
reply to my DMs, actually.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night, friends. Everyone stay safe out there. Yeah, we'll see you next week.